And now we are in Iceland. Iceland, a Nordic island nation, is defined by its dramatic landscape with volcanoes, geysers, hot springs, and lava fields. Most of the population lives in the capital, Reykjavik, which runs on geothermal power and is home to the National and Saga museums tracing Iceland's Viking history. It is said that Iceland visit would be incomplete without exploring its spectacular ice caves, lava tubes, and mighty glaciers. Iceland, beautiful.
Akureyri, Iceland.
We are heading to Godafoss. One can drive to Godafoss from Akureyri cruise port by rental vehicle.
You know where we're going?
The Godafoss, nicknamed Waterfall of the Gods, is one of the most spectacular waterfalls in Iceland. Wow! I can only imagine how breathtaking this scenery must look like on a winter landscape. The fall itself is only 12 meters high and 30 meters wide, but the rock formation in and around the waterfall make it one of the greatest natural wonders in Iceland. Godafoss waterfall is also a great setting for the photo enthusiasts like me. It is especially a beautiful background for taking photos of the northern lights as well. Waterfalls have simply impressive power and beauty of nature, shimmering and falling, breaking into a thousand shards of spray. I could watch this streaming water even in my sleep, a beautiful infinite dream. Beauty like this remain in my mind forever. Whenever I practice yoga, I always think of places I visit.
Volcanic rocks. Volcanic rocks.
Dimmuborgir, the dark fortress at Mývatn, are a true wonder of nature and nowhere else to be seen in the world that is on dry land. Dimmuborgir consists of huge lava rock formations which makes you feel like you stepped into another world, a world of fairy tales.
But there's a way on the top on the other side. So this is all volcanic rock formations. This is the volcanic crater. We are at the volcanic crater.
We are about to climb 452-meter elegant grey volcano. The diameter of the volcano is approximately 1 kilometer, and besides the big black crater, you can also admire from above the whole area with its green valleys and dark brown mountains. Somehow this scenery induces peace. Maybe it's just me.
अरे 10 पिक्चर पहाड़ी volcanic crater. Bye. This is a cave that has been cracked, and as you can see, it's open all the way. Like we are standing on volcanic land, and as you can see, there's smoke coming out, and it's a whole big crack and a cave up here. It's broken all the way miles and miles from up here.
They could. Yeah, I want to take it to YouTube.
Atau record
No, on this one. You liked it.
Driving in Iceland is just such an experience. The roads in Iceland is a chapter by itself where the roads differ so much, but not all interesting things happens or are seen above ground. There are some very interesting tunnels in Iceland. One of them even has a crossroad in the depths of the tunnel.
Be the best going forward. Do you think?
Emerson.
Half an hour without a game.
Are you? World's famous ice cream.
Gotcha.
Brinja.
ना पड़ेगा ये चाहिए वेनिला ले लो नहीं खाली स्मॉल है तो ना थ्री अजू जिसे पांच वाला बजे 5 o'clock हाँ गाडी भले
Alright, now this morning we are in Reykjavik, Iceland. Beautiful morning.
The boat is going to park right beside it. It is a very complicated parking procedure of the ship. As you can see, it's going to park right in the spot without hitting the other ship. You would think it will hit the other boat.
Light or darkness, it's just it. Mother, I think we're down, probably making it extremely difficult for Iceland to recover. I heard that you had been on the average of every 4 to 5 years. The last sitting on a rift in where when you're small, and this is a part of the world, so we're the baby on extreme heat. Minerals that we need in very limited numbers. He said, well, that's interesting, but why were the gods angry? From the summer 1000, the vegetation in Iceland, apart from the areas that to existence. And the most common type of vegetation in Iceland, a lot of you. Word. But this is one of the new high-tech power plants. And I don't know if you're one of the latest geothermal power plants, and the pressure will take care of it. And you see, it's all crooked. You see.
Left Majo.
One of the reasons we're doing well in football are these indoor facilities. Local communities, especially in and around Reykjavik. He said is when we beat England. That was one of the biggest victories.
What
This is
springs everywhere in this town.
There's an interesting story about this little town here. 6.3, and the epicenter was answers for. Well, 3 different things. We breed them, and they're used for competition, but only with other Icelandic horses. We export them, and now there are more.
Yeah, in the middle.
Livestock is that it's the old livestock that was brought out. Was quite alarming because we've always thought of ourselves as still they monitor all the time. Is sand, and sand in Iceland, of course, is all volcanic. They would tell me where they went. They always said the numbers. They said we drove, Highway 1, and then we took, number 26. I didn't have a clue whether they were in the end. So the road.
Odd numbers.
Yeah.
Odd numbers if they go.
So if you look at these are bales of hay to your left, and you can see actually the Icelandic sheep with the small lambs. Now the colors that came out and just settled in the area around. Minimum monthly wage is about and I think you'll find when you travel in Iceland, 10 years, it's so small. If it continues, it's another 1,460 meters. Then you have Eyjafjallajökull, the one that erupted. That's about 1,660 fire. Right now you see 4 volcanoes active. You have Hekla to the left, Tindfjöll, that's the snowy kind of mountains there. Then you have you ain't seen nothing yet, Katla, it's just a little further away. And then
this is Mount Hela, which erupted in 2000. And this is all volcanoes.
how we take hurricane insurance? Do you take volcanic insurance or anything like that? No. Volcanic insurance is just it's the federal South Pole and back every year. This river here, during the eruption, like a bay. There was just endless water here. They had just built the bridge across the road and saved the bridge. Now this is our last stop today on our way, and that was an eruption that lasted from 1963 to 67. They've been following how life develops on a new land. I think that ice might have been up to 1 kilometer thick, and it's hidden. We got married to a hidden girl, you know, a hidden girl. If the clouds were not covering, you would see kind of right into the crater. The crater, an area of the glacier that's for the Alps and the hidden people. Now, psychological perspective, and where I do my work, I find it fascinating. If you don't mess with them, they're not going to mess with you. If you mess with it later today, it's a nice looking one.
Whoa! Bro, look at that.
I know. So if you are for a bit of hiking, and part of the mist is a little. This is a very narrow stretch because of the mountains. They kind of push it out. The other.
Yeah, London.
The Katla Trek Glacier guides picked us up in their super jeeps at their meeting point at Wick, right by Ring Road 1. The ice cave is a 45-minute drive north of Wick through black volcanic sand plains from previous eruptions of the still active Katla volcano. For such sandy roads, the driver let some air out of the Super Jeep tires to around 12 to 16 psi as it gives the tires a wider grip on the sand. The same is done when driving on glaciers in Iceland. I tell you, it was a bit of scary, but it was fun.
No hands.
Today we are going to Katla volcano. Reaching Katla is a difficult task. Not only is it located underneath an ice cap, but it is also tucked away in the highlands. Driving from Reykjavik to Katla should take about 3 hours and will take you along the south coast driving the Ring Road 1. You will follow the same route all the way through the towns, like few towns I can't even pronounce, and before being able to turn onto a rough dirt road to reach the edge of the glacier. To visit Katla in itself is challenging, to say the least, and shouldn't be attempted without an experienced guide and a lot of planning. And we hired one of the company for this tour. Katla volcano has been in the news time and time again in regards to its upcoming eruption. Most Icelanders find this a bit strange as the volcano isn't at this time showing any unusual activity, meaning there isn't much to worry about, but this might also just be the way of thinking when you live in land filled with volcanoes and other powerful natural phenomena. Glacier covered with dust, and that's the cave we will be going in. Once we reached there, glacier guides provided us with the sturdy glacier crampons and helmets with headlights. Funny me, I'm in Iceland but wearing New Zealand hat. One has to appreciate the glacier crampons. They give us such good grips on the glacier hikes and inside the ice caves. We now follow the guide on a short hike to the Black Ice Fall, Kotluko, the Katla Glacier. It is an easy hike, only 5 to 7 minutes or so. We crossed a few creeks with meltwater from the glacier, and in some places the glacier guides had fitted planks over the creeks to make it easier for us to cross. When we reached the ice cave, I immediately thought to myself that it looked like a scene out of the Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings. I was in awe just seeing the entrance to the cave. Don't you agree with me? The glacier guides have carved steps into the glacier to make it easier to ascend into the ice cave. You also have ropes to hold onto, so it's easy entering the cave. Once inside, you will have ropes and small bridges for your aid. Inside the ice cave, we saw pitch black ash from different volcanic eruptions of Katla volcano through the centuries, ash which has been pressed into the ice and has never been seen before.
Salvo?
The way from the glacier tunnel. Good. We spent a little bit time by the ice cave, giving us ample time to take photos of every angle of the cave. It was hard to stand there, but it was fun. And you can take some spectacular photos of the ice caves. And oh yes, if you have a yellow coat like I'm wearing, then I would advise you to wear it during your visit to Katla Ice Cave. It makes you pop out of the photo. When we reached the end of
Not with the camera.
ice cave, we came out to another opening.
This is where we went.
Akash, be careful.
It's okay, you just slide down, I'll catch you.
I would not recommend this tour without trained guides.
Rise up. Your guide is probably going to tell you, but
Yeah, we gotta be careful. Puppet. It was a hand puppet, and it was like this, like football player.
Everywhere except at that place, you know. So just be careful. Don't go too close.
Another highlight in Iceland is Black Sand Beach. World famous Black Sand Beach found on the south coast of Iceland, just beside the small fishing village of Vik. With its enormous basalt stacks, roaring Atlantic waves, and stunning panoramas, it is widely considered to be the most beautiful example of Iceland's black sand beaches. Visitors are advised to never turn their back on the waves and keep a safe distance of at least 30 meters, which is 98 feet. Aside from these sudden and dramatic shifts in the tide, the rip currents offshore are infamous for their strength and ability to drag helpless people out into the freezing cold open ocean. And because of this beach is considered the world's most dangerous beach. Iceland has several volcanic beaches, but Black Sand Beach is hands down the coolest with its black sand, insane basalt columns, lava formations, towering cliffs and caves. Basalt columns, as you can see here, as basaltic lava cools over an extended period of time, beautiful geometric forms emerge, incredible columns of hexagonal basalt rock that often form cliffs that stretch as high as the eyes can see. These wondrous formations can be found all around the world, but Iceland is one of the best places for it, without a doubt.
Can you watch behind me?
If you are from India or if you have seen the Bollywood movie Dilwale, the song Gerwa was shot here. Now we are at Skogafoss. Skogafoss is one of Iceland's biggest and most beautiful waterfalls with an astounding width of 82 feet and a drop of 60 meters. It is a very beautiful waterfall, and if you walk up the staircase and continue walking along the track, you will experience some really nice and peaceful nature with amazing views.
Not a good one.
And again, as you can see here, the part of that Bollywood song Dilwale Girwa was shoot here at this location as well by the fall.
The water is with lots of iron.
Efter middag fyrir síman.
No, yeah.
વધારે પડ્યું યાર પહેલા મસાલો નાખીને પાણી અંદર રેડવાનું હતું.
Preparation for દાબેલી.
ચા પણ આવે ત્યારે લેવાય નહીં યાર અત્યારથી લઈને શું કરવાનું એ
Preparation for દાબેલી on the go.
કારી જ ચા પીવી હવે દૂધ નાખો ને તો બગડી જાય.
But since if we had the time today, Iceland, pretty close to this place, the courtesy of Mother
That is the
Nature.
Blue Lagoon where you see the steam
So
coming out.
and on it you will see the green stuff.
This is the geothermal plant from where the water, excess water goes to the Blue Lagoon.
Yeah, that's sulfur. Oh, you learned that yesterday. So you can see the hot water on the other side. Are you smelling something? Right?
Sulfur.
Yeah.
And our today's most awaited attraction is Blue Lagoon. The Blue Lagoon is a geothermal spa in southwestern Iceland. The spa is located in a lava field near Grindvik on the Reykjanes Peninsula in a location favorable for geothermal power and is supplied by water used in the nearby Svartsengi geothermal power station. There is a good reason why the Blue Lagoon is one of the most sought after hot springs in Iceland. Imagine relaxing in a blend of seawater and geothermally heated water which is rich in silica, minerals and algae surrounded by a lunar lava landscape. This is really good for your skin and a real treat for the mind, body and soul. Kind of very enchanting moment. Plus, the iconic white silica mud face mask is free to
40
all
degrees
lagoon
outside.
guests.
Feels beautiful.
But then we have very bright can play golf in the snow. So he named it in the middle of the city. You can UNESCO for being the oldest parliament. On your right hand side you can see a waterfall.
No, this is good. Thank you.
He's walking.
Buy a permit to go fly fishing in the water.
Fresh water?
Yeah, so this is the biggest freshwater lake in Iceland. But so now we're approaching. If it's possible to drive them on the second platform. So we're like 15 minutes. The difference between Iceland and Norway is that and as I said, we're driving towards the highland. Through the Kaiser area. On your left hand side you can see the area where the steam is coming up. You can see where all the people are heading. Up there we will find an the southern timeline. Otherwise we don't have it on the lower platform in the waterfall.
Now we are heading to Gullfoss
So
waterfalls.
in front of us you can see a glimpse of the rainbow. On your right hand side is a canyon.
Yeah, oh, very few. You're not.
Comparing to
Gullfoss waterfall is located in the canyon of the Hevita River in southwest Iceland. The Gullfoss waterfall is also known as the Golden Falls since on a sunny day the water takes a golden brown color.
It's a glacier far away.
And now it was time for us to experience hot geysers, the Icelandic geysers in active geothermal field. The geyser field is situated at the northern edge of the southern lowlands. Water certainly comes in many beautiful shapes and forms. However, is anything more impressive than when it is being expelled into the air from a crater in the Earth's surface? Geysers have been a huge fascination for mankind since their discovery, and as a fairly rare sight that can only usually be found in active volcanic areas like Iceland, some people travel the world just to experience one.
Come on!
Looks like you were having a lot of Guinnesses there. No, I know, it was bad.